folks, welcome back to an episode of Thames FC with me, Dr. Benji FM, and today we start with the Thames Under-21s. Now, we've had a region day, it was the 2nd of March in which it happened actually, and you can see there, finally, after, how many years has this been going? 15 years of asking for better facilities, we finally had a region day to get somewhat excited about. And then you see what they're actually like and you realise that lots of work is needed. I'm tutoring all three of them. We've got Nehemiah Reid. Rolls off the tongue. Kevin Lewis and Ken Salami, which is one of the best region names of all time. Ken Salami, excellent. He's the best of the three. Let's start with Nehemiah. Let's start with Reid. So you can see he's a poacher striker, 15 years of age, very fast, 15 acceleration, good teamwork, leadership's quite good as well actually, not bad composure, first touch is decent, finishing a little bit wayward, so we've got him tutored at the moment. Well, hopefully after a bit of tutoring he'll be back to, we'll say back to a full strength, it'll become full strength. He's unambitious, hopefully the tutoring will fix that. Kevin Lewis though, let's move on to our new left back. I say our new left back, we're not going to play him in the first game. Physically looks okay, determination's good, marking and tackling are okay without being fantastic, 20 aggression, 15 bravery. I kind of love those two things about him. The best thing about Kevin Lewis is that he's a Thames supporter. That we've got some. We found one. Thames fans now play for me. I love it. And then finally, Ken Salami, who at 15 could be pretty good. Again, very aggressive. The mentals need a lot of work again, and is unambitious. So hopefully tutoring will help us with that one. Acceleration, though, 16, very, very quick. Needs to up his crossing and his dribbling, but work rate's very good too. He's got some of the tools required to be a good player. We just have to work on him a lot to make sure he becomes that good player, but only time will tell. And they're not the only new faces around the place. Of course, Altidal hasn't left. I can inform you now, we're in March. Altidal didn't leave. He's still here at the club after rejecting lots of bids from Mainz. Ben Hur, of course, is coming in very soon, but his Brazilian friend and teammate from Novo Hamburgo, great name to say, is here. It's finally time to get excited about Renato Welter Willink. I think that's how you'd say it. I think he looks really good. Can play as a shadow striker in behind the strikers, also as a poacher up front, and I think he looks quite nicely well-rounded. Value-wise right now, due to his reputation, not the best, but that will, of course, sometime go up. Again, physically, technically, and mentally, all pretty good. Still only 18, so lots of time to grow into his position and his role. Hopes he'll learn a lot at Thames, and I hope he will too. So, he's in, and the league table is looking better than I expected. Now, the truth of it was, I very much thought, we would be sort of slipping down the table. There was a little period, I'll show you it now actually, if you go on past positions and select Thames, you can see, there was this period here where I thought we are starting to drop off a little bit here, and I think this might become sort of a 12th, 11th, even 14th positioned season. But in recent games, things have picked up a little bit. I was going to go straight towards the end of the season, and that's where I was heading. And then form picked up and we started to win a few games quite sort of, I was going to say comfortably, but I guess we kept clean sheets, and that's why I'm saying it. But yeah, the last time we met then was quite some time ago. That was the 3-1 win, of course, against Bristol City. We followed that up with a 4-0 defeat to Swansea, and that was sort of the point I thought, okay, maybe this season isn't what I'm hoping it'll be. Back-to-back wins, though, against Sheffield Wednesday and Bolton saw us rise a little bit up the table, 2-1 defeat to Reading, and this was the key point. Newcastle, Cardiff and Bournemouth, 3 tricky games to come. I thought if we can get maybe 6 to 9 points from them, maybe we'll have a late run at the playoffs, and we won all 3 of them, Newcastle, Cardiff and Bournemouth all beaten, and as I said before, 7th place, level on points now with Newcastle and Leeds United, and today some big games coming up, Brighton and Huddersfield, who are in 8th. So without any further ado, let's run you through the team and get into the first game. So we've got quite a few injuries and a suspension to deal with. Kane Morris is unavailable today, which is annoying because he's been a sort of a stalwart of our side. Alex Miller, Tyler Davis and Dazelle all out injured as well, meaning striking options are somewhat limited, but actually now we've got this new RWW, Renato Welter Willink. I think we'll just call him Renato for most of this. We've now got options off the bench as well. So Altidal and George to be up front, Cummings in behind, McDonald and Street in the centre, Smith as a deep line playmaker, Parkin, Holmes, Edmund and O'Kelly comes in with Reid in goal. Reid's conceded a lot of goals this season. I'm starting to think it's not the goalkeeper's fault. Like I don't think Fitzpatrick was to blame, but we'll see. Maybe I think the midfield is potentially the issue, but we'll come to that next season. They've got Butterweck up front. We've played Brighton. Sorry, before I was going to say Bournemouth. We've played Brighton before. I recognise Butterweck, who's very good. Austrian international. could cause us a few problems. But with a good performance today, we could move into the playoffs, so you never know. And as I say, Huddersfield after this, that's arguably the key game. Brighton are quite a way off us at the moment, 10 points behind, so they can't really gain ground on us. But it'll be interesting to see today then, can we do the business as first things first, Brighton going forward with it. As challenge goes in though, and we find Tommy George, him and Altidale back up front together for the first time in quite a while. Although it's going to be Hartley for Brighton. He puts a ball in. Butterwick goes very close, but just heads wide. They've already got an injury on their side as well. Lovely. Yeah, since Altidale's injury and since his sort of transfer speculation, he's not been in the goals anywhere near as much. In fact, has he scored since? Yeah, since all the drama, you might remember he was on 16 appearances, 18 goals. He's now on 21 appearances, 18 goals. So they've dried up a little bit. I think the pressure of the move maybe is making a problem for him. Chance for Brighton though. They've let out on this edge now, and he goes towards the byline. Oh, it's a own goal. That's as bad as a penalty. Smith puts it in his own net. We go 1-0 down, and that's a little bit cruel. I mean, it was quite simple for them. We look like we're defending that pretty well. It just hits him on the arm. He's not even looking at the... Lawrence Smith, own goal, 1-0 Brighton. Now, away from home at the Amex, I'm not expecting to ever get too much. I mean, a draw, yeah, I mean, that's definitely possible. Butterwick's in now, though. 46 caps for Austria. I mean, he's known around the world of football, I would imagine. Whereas Altidale still making his way with his 1 cap for Norway. As we get to half-time, it's been a pretty even game. Neither side finding too much in terms of chances on goal. And we might need a little bit of samba, if you know what I'm saying. Show me something else in the second half. Some way through this second half to change things around a little bit. George and Otidale both having poor games. I'm not going to waste any time. Renato's going to come on, and I'm going to stick him up there as the poacher. Of course, we've already got Altidale doing the business. Cummings, I realise, has been playing as a shadow striker this whole time. Heaven. I was playing well to Wink just behind, and he prefers that role, but... Cummings not so much. Just a lack of concentration there, Ben. You've mugged yourself off, really. Well, it's not like Brighton have cut us open so far. They've had 1 chance, and that was off our own man. So we're on the ball, and maybe with a bit of change of personnel, a few role switches, we might be able to find our way back into this, as that pass forward is... not our best work, let's put it that way, although that pass forward by them is not that good either. As Edmund now looks forward, you can see he's looking for that run of Altidale, didn't make it the first time, will he make it this time? Cummings looks for him, it's poor, and it sort of just gets recycled once again, the same pattern of play seemingly going on and on. Now, will our midfield combine? Pat Street has been really underrated this season, as Walter Wink goes forward, Altidale's there, Altidale hits the post, and that sums up his return from injury, and after all the transfer drama, that's really been him. Chance again for us though, throw in on this near side as O'Kelly finds Street with it now, goes all the way back to Holmes, and will we go out to the left hand side? We will. Altidale, of course, at the back post will be lurking. We can't quite get it into him first time, and we recycle possession once again. That's been a theme so far of this half, is we've kept the ball quite well. Parkin, can he get a ball in? He looks for the run of Altidale, who again, on the rebound, pops it past Ken Prinsevere. Altidale scores the goal in a Thames shirt, and there we go. Been a long time. The fans obviously forgive him after that sort of... He didn't ask for a transfer, but he was annoyed that we didn't give him the move to Mainz. But he's finally back in the goals. Great leap from him, and great reactions as well to prod home after the rebound. 1-1. So it's the Brazilian samba flair that's doing this, I think. Question is, will Renato get a goal? 5 appearances for me so far. This is his 6th, and no goals to speak of. Also, we should check in on Lazaro and see how his tutoring's coming along. It's been a couple of months, actually, since we did that, so I'm intrigued. As the ball goes forward towards Butterwick, he gets past his man, and Butterwick skips forward, plays it across to Rendell. They could get a chance here. They've hit the post, and we clear. Blimey, very, very close to Brighton. Their best opportunity of the game so far. Now, with 10 minutes to go, there is a temptation to make a switch somewhere. I think Stevie Foster to come from McDonald in the centre. He loves a late goal, the Stevie Foster. He likes to be a hero. I did say earlier in the game I'd take a draw, and so far... that's looking most likely. We're staying on this control, flexible style the whole time, and with 50 seconds to go, you would think this game is most likely going to end at 1-1, which I've got to say, away at the Amex, I said before, I'll say again, it will take a point. The teams ahead of us, Crystal Palace have been pulled into that a little bit now, so there's 3 teams there that suddenly have made this playoff battle a little bit more interesting. It might be. Hopefully, it's some sort of last episode of the series or season drama. That's what I'd quite like. Because 5 seconds to go here. Thames with a good point against Brighton, but now this is the key game. Huddersfield coming up. This is where we need to get a big win. I still feel as if we're performing way above expectations, but it's a bit like England at the World Cup. It's like, well, if you go back to 2018 when they were in the World Cup, you know, when they won it, you remember that. Well, if you recall, no one expected too much from them, but then they set a level of expectation and everyone gets pumped for it. So that's sort of what's happening with Thames right now. The ends goal drought. See? It's been ages. 10 hours. 10 hours. For Altidale. Oh, dear. Oh, wow. I wasn't informed at all. What a moment. Stevie Foster he's got the record of Jack Hallahan. 288 league appearances for the main man, Stevie Foster. He has done it, and with attributes such as those, it's a little bit surprising, but I'm so happy. I'm so happy with that. And to all the people that bought Stevie Foster jerseys, good work. He's rightly in the icon status, and yes, I love that. I wasn't informed at all. You might recall, way back when, I was always told about when people were breaking the records. Haven't been told once about that. Sorry. Welcome back, viewers. Just look at this. Kelvin Coomber. You recognise him, right? He's been a first team regular for some time now. But he wants to discuss the lack of first team football. Does Kelvin? Does he? Why? I'll let Smith sort it out, please. He's complaining about. Just tell him he's not very good. He dropped his concern. What was that about? Shout out to the board, by the way, who are currently working on youth facilities, training facilities, and data analyst facilities. Thanks to them all. Okay, welcome back, folks, for our second episode, second game of the episode. How many times in my life have I said that wrong? Kane Morris still suspended, so we stick with the same team. I have, though, changed Cummings to the advanced playmaker role rather than the shadow striker role, which he doesn't really like. Our Belgian, not even Belgian. They play each other, Brazil, Belgium. Well, no, sorry, they did play each other. You might recall 2018 World Cup quarterfinals. I know for you, that's a weird reference to make, Ben, really. It's on the mind, obviously, as George and Altidale start up front, and, we'll see how we get on. Changes can be made if possible. If needed. They will be possible. They're always possible. Okay, a 4-4-2 from Huddersfield. Should we just take a look at Sheldon up front for Marcus Sheldon? I wish I hadn't looked. Okay, blue and white of Thames against the red and black of Huddersfield. I know you said Belgium again. Big game here. Again, we can't, if we're going for the playoffs, we can't really afford to lose it. Again, a point, though, against a sort of top of the table rival. Not that bad. So far, it's been a very quiet. Tom George is injured. Well, at least we've got a replacement. He's going to come on as the poacher. As I said before, Renato still yet to score for us, is WWE. But, I mean, this could be the day. This could be the day. Not prolific at his level, but for 14,500, I think you'll agree, it's still a good signing. And it'll make Ben-Hur feel better when Ben-Hur gets here. So, corner. First chance of the game, in towards Edmund. It falls to Renato as he gives it to Altidale. Oh, my dearie me. That probably should have gone in. Chance maybe now, though, for Huddersfield as they're forward in and goal. And, well, it was Sheldon, I think, that had the shot. Hits the post and eventually cleared by us. Corner played in, though, and it was whipped in very, very quickly. Tossed out on that side. Plays it to Porter. He gives it to Higgins, and they're looking a little bit dangerous, it must be said. They're probably, on paper, much like most teams in the Championship, a better side than us. So we're going to have to perform somewhat above expectations to get anything today, as if they put a ball in, it might be deadly. Goes to the back post. Higgins is there, just wide, and we're holding on a bit here. Tom George off injured, and striking options now very limited. Midfield options, though, not so much. So there's still time to change things around. You can see there, lots of possession, 3 shots on target for us, only 1 for them so far. Of course, they did hit the post, though, bear that in mind. Around the grounds as well. Leeds have been held 1-1. You've got to think about the teams just above us. Newcastle leading in their game, so stuff's happening. Crystal Palace leading as well, and they're a side just above us too. I've said to the boys, we owe Huddersfield after last time, because it's fresh in the mind. Just like the World Cup of 2018. Oh. Okay, we're about to approach the hour mark, and it's still goalless, which means I think a midfield switch might be necessary, although I'm quite happy. Smith's actually picked up a knock, which is interesting. Well, it's more interesting that we don't have Keon Harris on the bench for today's game, and what are we going to do about this then? I think McDonald slides back into that position, and Stevie Foster comes on, and things largely remain the same. I think that's our only choice, really. Okay, some more play. And highlight-wise so far, we've actually had very little of those. As Johnson now about 20 yards out, finds Bruce. This is dangerous, and it's in. And Huddersfield get the goal. Well, after a good draw in the last game, now Huddersfield are creating a bit of a problem for us. I think we'll be on 63 if we don't win this one. You can see it's quite nicely worked, to be fair. Dennis the Menace and crew making hell for us. He's chipped that up there. That was sarcastic, as it slid into the bottom corner, and Huddersfield get their goal. Well, we're going to go more attacking, because I don't think we've got much choice. But yeah, 3 points behind Leeds now. I don't know. I'm going to bring the beard on. And I do realise, folks, I've been calling him the beard more and more recently. And that's not intentional, really. It's just sort of happened. Anyway, we've brought him on the left-hand side. We've moved the midfield slightly further forward too, and is an equaliser on the cards as it goes towards Altadal. Although they're going to have to work this out. From the back here, Bruce is on it. Not Lukey Brucey, just a regular Bruce, as it's put forward to nobody. And that pass not good either. It's back and forth here, up towards Altadal. Can we get a foot on the ball and create a chance, perhaps? I mean, the lack of control for us there. Sheldon goes forward. He should have scored. We are giving it away so often. For a team that have got quite a high pass completion, quite a good possession in a game, it's not great, is it? Ball's played in, and it goes all the way through, and Johnson's going to pick it up, but you suspect that's probably going to be that. All right, 5 minutes to go. We need to sort of pile forward a little more here, although I'm not entirely sure what to do in that instance. We'll go a little bit more direct. We won't work into the box quite so much. And we'll just see. Should we get a bit more pump? Let's pump it. Altadal's there for a reason. Right, is there going to be a last bit of drama? Last minute drama? Well, unless it comes from this right now, the answer is quite simply no. As Foster looks for the through ball again, doesn't find its target. And Huddersfield have put a spanner in the works. French. The works, that was. So, yeah, not good. We've been defeated. We've had a few of these draws against sides that are around us. We tend to do quite well against the sides below us. The teams in and around us often causes problems, though, so it's not ideal. What we'll do then, I think next episode will be on Sunday. There's lots of football kicking off around tomorrow. So Sunday's episode, we will be doing an episode. It'll probably be a 3-game special at the end of the season to see if we can push for those playoffs. If it's not a 3-game special, it means we can't push for the playoffs. And Tom George being out for 4 to 5 weeks, not ideal. We've already got quite a few injury problems with strikers. But so, I guess we'll see. Next episode then, I will see you for it. If you enjoyed today's episode, do leave a like. If you want to see some more, subscribe to the channel. What do you think then? 3 5-star Regens? I mean, it's about time. We say 5-star, potentially 5-star. Bear that in mind. And finally, shout out to all the people on Patreon. Thank you so much for the support. And again, keep sending in your Thames shirts pictures. I've worn mine today. I'm feeling warm in it. Only because I know it loves me. That's why.